Hi, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Let me show you how you can save so much money by putting on a downspout extension and moving that roof water away from your home. And then we'll go one step further and actually put the drain underground so that it's more permanent. But let me show you what happens inside the crawl space without a downspout extension or with a downspout extension. As a drainage contractor, I see this configuration of the downspout extension every day. And you can see I've labeled them bad, good, better, ugly, and the best. So let's put the GoPro inside the crawl space right behind that downspout. And then we'll pour water down the gutter and you can see what happens to each one of these configurations and how much water does or doesn't enter into the crawl space. Let's start with the bad one. This is called an A elbow. This is what most gutter contractors leave at the bottom of the downspout when they install gutters and downspouts. Let's take a look at a rainfall and look inside the crawl space to see what happens with that water. So as it begins to rain, you can kind of see water comes out and it's just dropping into the ground. But when that water picks up and that soil becomes saturated, look inside the crawl space. You probably recognize this. This is called a splash block. And maybe you have several around your house that move that water away from the house because you know that that water gets back on your basement wall or your crawl space. But look what happens. The same thing. The water moves to the end of the splash block, the soil becomes saturated, and that water finds its way inside the house. This is called a downspout extension, and they're available at Home Depot or Lowe's, and they do work better than the A elbow and the splash block, especially if your house has got a good grade away from the foundation. So you can see the water comes to the end of that extension and drains away out into the yard. Works pretty good. I think they're about $6 or $8, something like that, and it will save you thousands of dollars and help avoid foundation issues. Next is just a simple piece of pipe, that downspout extension that looks so ugly, but it does move that water out into the yard. The only thing is that you have to move that downspout every time you want to cut the grass. But even as ugly as it is, do you know what? It will save your foundation from having problems. This is called a downspout drain, a drain tile, and it is by far the best way to move that water away from your foundation. It can be made of PVC or the corrugated pipe, but it needs to go all the way out to the street. That way you know the water is definitely not going to come back up on your foundation wall, and you will truly save thousands of dollars. It only takes a few hours to install this yourself, depending on how long the line would be. Or if you paid somebody, it might be a few thousand. But the PVC downspout drain or the corrugated downspout drain, it is the best way to solve any foundation issue. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.